Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Air Force and Royal Brunei Air Force conduct joint relief operation to aid Calaguas Island. Philippine-Australian troops advance joint training and exercise Kasanga. LPA develops into tropical depression, expected to enter Philippine area of responsibility today. DA says more than 600 million set aside to aid farmers affected by STS Christine.
Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Monday, November 4, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our stories, the Philippine Air Force and Royal Brunei Air Force launched a coordinated aerial relief operation in Calaguas Island. They delivered essential aid to storm-affected residents using Black Hawk helicopters. Both forces transported Department of Social Welfare and Development family food packs, emphasizing a strong Philippines-Brunei partnership in regional humanitarian assistance. The mission was supported by Philippine Army ground troops, DSW Region 5, and the Office of Civil Defense, ensuring timely assistance for those in need.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippine Army 9th Infantry Division and Australian Army troops intensified their training in urban operations, tactical combat casualty care, and mortar gunnery drills as Exercise Kasanga entered its final stages at Camp Elias Angeles Pili, Camarines Sur. This inaugural training with 266 troops is building operational synergy and quick response skills. The activity is set to conclude on November 8.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Muffet about MILF tensions ease after Army mediation in Maguindanao clash.
Good morning. Tensions eased between two more Islamic Liberation Front or MILF factions after the 90th Infantry Battalion intervened in a clash at Pagalungan, Maguindanao del Sur. It resulted to 14 deaths and 5 injuries. Troops secured the area, confiscating high-powered weapons. The conflict, reportedly due to a land dispute, forced 30 families to evacuate. Major General Antonio Nafarrete of the 6th Infantry Division urged the MLF to advance the decommissioning process to prevent future incidents and ensure civilian safety. Moreover, dialogue with the MLF leaders are ongoing to maintain peace. This is Muffet Tizan reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Muffet.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
A fierce clash between the 105th Base Command led by Engineer Alonto Sultan and the combined force of the 128th and 129th Base Commands led by Ikot Ahmad resulted in 11 fatalities and 5 injuries at Pagalungan, Maguindanao del Sur. The conflict forced 30 families to evacuate to nearby barangays. The Philippine Army's 6th Infantry Division lodged a formal protest to address peace process violations and engage with MILF leaders to prevent further retaliation and stabilize the area. Monitoring of nearby hospitals and coordination with both groups are ongoing.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
A total of 156 former violent extremists received reintegration support at the Former Violent Extremist Summit 2024 at Sharif Aguac, Maguindanao del Sur, organized by Task Force Balikloob and the 601st Infantry Brigade. The event aimed at advancing peace in their region. Some military and civilian leaders joined forces to provide resources and skills training to aid in their transition to civilian life. Highlights include the distribution of 184 food packs sponsored by Vice Mayor Marop Ampatuan and 13 sacks of rice from the National Food Authority. It symbolizes strong local government support in the reintegration process.
Armed Forces Radio
From First CRG, let us hear some information from Joanne about Operation Abot Tulong sa Batanes of the JTF Karagatan underway.
The Northern Luzon Command, through the Joint Task Force Karagatan, is currently conducting humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations through the Abot Tulong sa Batanes, delivering aid and support in the province of Batanes and Babuyan Islands that was devastated by Typhoon Julian, Christine, and Leon. In coordination with the Office of the Civil Defense, around 20 metric tons of food packs, water, and other assorted items from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation and Office of the Civil Defense were already delivered to BRP Davao del Sur LD602, the designated vessel tasked for the delivery of aid to Basco, Batanes. Through the Abot Tulong sa Batanes, various organizations and local agencies will deliver additional relief goods, hygiene kits, communication equipment, and electrical posts necessary for the Ivatan's speedy recovery. Meanwhile, the BRP Gabriela Silang of the Philippine Coast Guard docked at the port of Basco yesterday and successfully delivered 5,500 family food packs from the Department of Social Welfare and Development to be distributed to the victims of Typhoon Leon in the province of Batanes. The provincial government of Batanes, together with the local government units and the uniformed personnel, reservists, and volunteers, helped to unload the food packs and speed up the distribution to the residents of the said province. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne, from First CRG.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
A joint operation by the 48th Infantry Battalion and Datu Hoffer Municipal Police Station led the neutralization of 5 armed lawless group members in Datu Hoffer, Maguindanao del Sur. According to the report, alias Kagwi Ramson or Kagwi Mike died in the said encounter, while 4 associates were captured. Authorities seized multiple firearms, including the rifles and pistols, as well as ammunition and gear. Joint Task Force Central Commander Major General Antonio Nafarete praised the coordinated effort to enhance the community's safety, pledging the continued support for law enforcement operations against security threats.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Pag-asa said the low-pressure area outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility has developed into a tropical depression. The center of the tropical depression was located 1,315 kilometers east of eastern Visayas. It is moving northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour. Once the cyclone enters the PAR today, it will be named Mars.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about Royal Brunei Air Force joined forces with Philippine Air Force for humanitarian missions in typhoon-hit Bicol region.
In an inspiring demonstration of international solidarity, the Royal Brunei Air Force, in collaboration with the Philippine Air Force, has been actively contributing to humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations in the Philippines. Using their C-295 and the S-70I Black Hawk helicopters, Brunei's dedicated teams have successfully delivered essential relief supplies to communities heavily affected by Typhoon Christine in the Bicol region. The relief operations involve transporting critical supplies, including tarpaulins for temporary shelters and food packs for families in need. These items were flown from strategic hubs such as Colonel Jose Villamor Air Base to Bicol International Airport and further distributed to remote and hard-hit areas like Garchitoreña in Camarines Sur and Calaguas Island in Camarines Norte. This ongoing mission highlights the power of collaboration and the shared commitment to the humanitarian service. The Royal Brunei Air Force and the Philippine Air Force are deeply appreciated in their unwavering support and dedication during these challenging times. This is Just from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD National News.
And for our other national news, the Department of Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. announced that the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation will allocate 666.7 million pesos to farmers affected by severe tropical storm Christine. The storm affected more than 86,000 farmers across 10 regions, with Central Luzon, the Bicol region, and Mimaropa bearing the brunt of the damage. Laurel ordered the PCIC to expedite claims processing, emphasizing the need for rapid assistance to help farmers recover. The DA chief also directed all DA agencies to prepare for damage assessments and ensure immediate aid where necessary.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Coast Guard deployed 3 ships to transport relief boxes to typhoon-hit Bicol region. The 3 Coast Guard vessels carry approximately 9,000 relief boxes, amounting to 75 tons of supplies from the Department of Social Welfare and Development. PCG said these will be distributed to families in the Bicol region who were affected by severe tropical storm Christine. The PCG turned to relief missions after its search and rescue operations in Bicol and other areas devastated by Christine.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Bea about 11ID leads the Servicio Caravan, provides essential services in Sulu.
Yes, Rofh, the 11th Infantry Division Commander Major General Leonardo I. Peña spearheaded the Servicio Caravan 2024 at Indanan, Sulu. The troops delivered free medical, dental, legal, and personal care services to Barangay Bato-Bato residents. The initiative, supported by the 1103rd Infantry Brigade, local officials, and faith-based groups, received a warm community response. Major General Peña emphasized the caravan's goal of unity and support, while the local leaders expressed gratitude, seeing it as a meaningful step towards peace resilience in Sulu. This Beatrice reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD National News.
Senate President Francis Escudero said the senators are now preparing to scrutinize the Marcos administration's proposed 6.3 trillion pesos national budget for next year. Escudero added that they are keen on scrutinizing all funds allocated for flood control mitigation and government's program on climate change and climate adaptation. Senators are bent on investigating how local government units and the national government have been utilizing their respective flood control projects. Aside from this, the upper chamber will also focus on Philippine Health Insurance Corporation's proposed budget for 2025, particularly regarding its unutilized excess funds, which amount to billions.
DWDD National News.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez said that a landmark bill establishing permanent, storm-resilient evacuation centers nationwide would soon be enacted by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Romualdez was referring to the proposed Ligtas Pinoy Centers Act. It mandates fully equipped, disaster-ready evacuation centers in every city and municipality across the Philippines. The House Speaker emphasized that the devastation of recent storms showed the urgent need to act. He also pointed out that the act represents their commitment to safeguard every Filipino in times of crisis.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear a report on the ground about 90 former rebels embrace peace as they return to mainstream society in Surigao del Sur. Go for the details, Beth Tañete.
90 former rebels started a new journey toward a peaceful life during the presentation of former rebels and ceremonial turnover of the firearms at Surigao del Sur. The event, organized by the local government unit in collaboration with the 4th Infantry Division, showcased the successful effort of the various government agencies under the Enhanced Comprehensive and Local Integration Program. Surigao del Sur Governor Honorable Alexander T. Pimentel welcomed the former rebels who surrendered 36 high-powered firearms, and also the 4ID commander, Major General Jose Maria R. Cuerpo II, the commander the former rebels for reuniting with their families and building productive lives, pledging continued collaboration with the local government unit for to foster lasting peace and development in the region. This is Betanieta reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
And for other development stories, the House of Representatives aiming to pass 4 priority measures of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Most of the priority bills listed in the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council or LEDAC have already been approved by the House. The Budget Modernization Bill and National Defense Bill are among the remaining measures in the LEDAC priority list. Amendments to the Agrarian Reform Law and Foreign Investors' Long-Term Lease are also set for approval.
DWDD National News.
Department of Interior Local Government Secretary John Vic Remulla and 47 other presidential appointees are now awaiting confirmation from the Commission on Appointments. Surigao del Sur's 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel said the confirmation hearings for the appointees are set to begin as Congress resumes sessions today. Aside from Remulla, Department of Trade and Industry Secretary Maria Cristina Roque and Civil Service Commission Chairperson Marilyn Barua Yap are among those waiting for the CAS approval. There are also 45 newly promoted military generals and career diplomats pending confirmation.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
And we have a report coming in from Kevin about second ID troops recover MPA's armed cache in Occidental Mindoro.
Soldiers from the 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division retrieved an arms cache of New People's Army during security operations in Barangay Manoot at Rizal, Occidental Mindoro. The cache included a rifle scope, 2 M16 rifle hammers, 2 M16 triggers, an IED switch, and a magazine belonging to the Southern Tagalog Regional Party Committee. 2ID Commander Major General Cirelo Balaro Jr. stated that the recovery significantly undermines the capabilities of terrorist groups and highlights the 2ID's commitment in ensuring community safety. Relatedly, the recovered items were handed over to authorities for proper documentation and disposal, while security operations in the area continue. This is Kevin reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Kevin.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met the leaders of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao in an effort to strengthen their collaboration and cooperation. The meeting aims not only to ensure peaceful elections next year, but also for the sustainable development of the region. A special assistant to the President, Antonio Lagdameo, also held the consultations with the BARM officials during the roundtable meeting. Lagdameo said the diverse assembly of both local and national leaders has also emphasized PBBM's commitment to an inclusive development and peace in the Bangsamoro region.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Justice has assured the case build-up and prosecution of those involved in the online sexual abuse and exploitation of children or OSAEC. National Prosecution Service Officer in Charge Richard Anthony Fadulion made the assurance following the conviction of a Frenchman engaged in OSAEC. Fadulian said all OSAEC-related cases will definitely go through a case build-up with prosecutors working with law enforcement. Last week, a French court convicted Frenchman Bohalim Bochiba for ordering the live stream of rape of hundreds of preteen girls in the Philippines.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
For other updates, let us hear the details about 2024 ICF Dragon Boat World Championship opens in Puerto Princesa. Go ahead, Mars.
Good afternoon, Rofh. The 2024 International Canoe Federation Dragon Boat World Championship kick-off at Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Armed Forces Chief of Staff General Romeo S. Broner Jr. represented President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at the opening. Traditional Palawan performances set a lively tone as teams from around the world gathered. The AFP alongside local government units ensured event security as Puerto Princesa welcomed fans and athletes for races and cultural exchanges running until November 5. This is Mars reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mars.
DWDD National News.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority will host the Road to Zero Waste Summit. The event will be held at the Unila Bayanihan Center in Pasig City on November 5 and 6, with the theme Closing the Loop Towards a Circular Economy. The summit aims to spotlight innovative waste management solutions that can address Metro Manila's solid waste challenges. The event will have a series of interactive activities and network sharing opportunities designed to raise public awareness on waste technologies and community-based interventions.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
That's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.